Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. I am Wasim Anwar from Lahore, Pakistan. We are yet again back with an exciting and informative series of interviews, starting with one of the most dynamic, positive men in ONPASSIVE. You all must have seen in him on webinars and events. A man who possesses ample knowledge and carry a vision of bringing a change in the lives of people. His leadership council member from Canada. We are lucky enough to get his learning and experiences. He's none other than Michael Williams Ames from Canada. We cordially welcome, sir. How are you, sir?
Thank you so much, Wasim. It's great to be here with you. I'm doing fantastic.
Sir, we start our questions, but I want to ask a few things before we start the question. Are you originally from Canada? Because many leaders came like Comfort and Carl Charles from Cameroon and Comfort from Cameroon. So are you originally from Canada? Or you
No, I'm originally from Jamaica in the West Indies.
Okay.
But I've spent the majority of my life here in Canada.
Okay, sir. Sir, we always seen when your name Michael William Ames. Oh, we want to know about this is your brand. We want to know the history of this name.
Yes, that is my brand. Maybe 10 to 12 years now. I've created a system, a business, automatic internet millionaire. So that's what AIM really stands for. And so the goal was always to help as many as I possibly could to attain that status, to become an automatic internet millionaire, meaning they're able to come online, and to be able to automate systems and businesses so that they can generate enough income to have a turnover whereby they are considered a millionaire. And so that's what we've done with that. So the brand is stuck, and so we've continued to use that as we move forward because that is still important to us. We still want to help as many to achieve that going forward.
Okay, great, sir. Sir, if you don't mind, we want to know about your family.
Sure. I am married, a wonderful wife. We have 3 children, great kids. We're a close-knit family. We're very private. We do everything together. We travel together. We attend, the 3 children are very active in sports. They do well academically, so we're always involved together. So that keeps us busy as well outside of the business front.
Great, sir. Sir, would you like to introduce complete introductions yourself? Where have you been working throughout these years? What is your expertise?
Sure. So, I did graduate university with a mathematics degree, but throughout university, I've changed, a lot of disciplines. I started out in mechanical engineering. I transferred to computer science. Did business management, studied a lot of religious courses, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, so I've done a lot from a, academic standpoint, but I finalized my university studies with a mathematics for commerce degree. Thereafter, I worked as a certified financial planner with, a local institution. So we did that for a while until we decided to venture out on our own and start our own business, and we came on the internet, to find time freedom, so financially things were good, but, you have to have both. You have to have the financial freedom as well as the time freedom. And so we wanted to be able to come on the internet and to, help that become a goal that we can certainly attain, right? And that led us into ONPASSIVE. We've created systems, as I mentioned before, about AIM, and so we always believed that it was possible, to help others, in a situation where they didn't have to be techie, they had a heart, they had a strong desire, they wanted a better way out, for themselves and their family, and so we set out to do that, to help ourselves and our family, of course, but in the process, help others as well. And so that led us to ONPASSIVE. And so in early in July of 2018, we were first exposed to ONPASSIVE then, and we just haven't looked back because this is the last business anyone will ever need.
Okay, sir. Great, sir. Sir, how it has changed your personal and professional life after joining ONPASSIVE?
Well, the thing about it is that what we had before, our mindset, we found that ONPASSIVE aligned with that. We were both going down the same path. What Mr. Ashmafara wants to accomplish around the world is something that is dear to us. So it was very easy, for us to jump on, right? Because it just made sense, right? It made sense that you should be able to set up a business structure whereby using technology, people didn't have to do the heavy lifting, and most people, they struggle with providing traffic on the internet and so on, so again, all those things were present with ONPASSIVE, even in the very early days, although we have grown significantly in what's going to happen as we move forward. But even in the early days, we quickly identified with what the mandate, the mission, vision was with Mr. Ashmafara and ONPASSIVE. So, it has certainly helped us to be more self-conscious about helping others. It has expanded our mind to be able to want to do even more, right? Because now, to me, the possibilities are, limitless. We have a huge, uptrend as far as what can be accomplished globally, with ONPASSIVE. So yeah, it certainly expanded, what was already there.
Great, sir. Excellent, sir. Sir, how do you see ONPASSIVE in future? How is it going to impact the lives of founders, customers, and business all around the world?
Well, we know with ONPASSIVE, obviously it starts with the founders, right? So this is where we at. We have all founders in, but soon enough, we'll get to the place where we're going to have customers and we're going to have resellers. So starting with the founders, obviously, with 1.5, approximately million in, now we know people have come to ONPASSIVE because they're looking to change their financial lives, right? We know that around the globe, more than 5 billion people are struggling financially. They're in need, and so to find a way out that is ethical, something that is, people can, certainly align themselves with because of the morality of it, and just the trust, the truth that is present, the transparency. People are tired of being ripped off. People are tired of being scammed. People are tired, of losses, right? And so here we have something that people around the world can afford, right? And they don't have to do the heavy lifting. So those are all key components. So as we move forward with ONPASSIVE, it's certainly going to help the founders tremendously, right, to attain whatever their financial goals may be. And then you also have customers, because you have to have value. Without no value, it's very difficult to have a sustainable business, right? And so with all the products that we have, certainly customers are going to receive more cost-effective products. They're going to have things that's going to be able to come together all in one place. So it's going to make it more convenient for them, right? So the customers are going to be happy, the founders are going to be happy, and those who come on board as resellers down the road will also be happy. So it's a win-win-win all the way around for everyone involved. So yeah, this company is definitely going to be a giant to be reckoned with going forward.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Excellent, sir. Sir, we all know about our genius CEO, Mr. Ashmafara, mastermind of this project. So we want to know from you, what is your opinion about him? How you do you see?
Well, Mr. Ashmafara obviously is known for his marketing abilities. He's done extremely well from a marketing standpoint. But when you get to know him as an individual, you see, obviously he's much more than that. You see, he's a family man. His children are dear to him, his 2 sons. His wife is dear to him. His parents, So that's a plus. Like a lot of time we get involved in businesses and we don't really, click, with whomever the owner may be, the executives, etc. But here you kind of have a personal relationship with someone who's the CEO of this future tech giant. You can see that this man is for real. He's sincere in all that he does. He's trustworthy. He's got a sense of humor. So everything. If I was to put together, all the attributes of my ideal CEO, I definitely find all those within Mr. Ashmufara. So that's a good thing. And again, it's a plus because it doesn't have to be that way, but it makes things a lot easier. When you have someone that you can actually trust, someone that you can, hang out with, someone you can be on the phone with for hours, and not get tired. That's the type of person that we have in Mr. Ashmufara. He cares about people, and that's something that's very important to me.
Great, sir. You are right, sir. Sir, of course, our CEO qualified, experienced, and genius. But beside this, I like his some qualities. I have never seen a CEO who talk about or who think about others, who talk about mutual benefit. Even we can see when ONPASSIVE started in 2018, the foundership price was $97. That time he was giving a few things, digital marketing tool, but with the passage of time, things increased, but he didn't increase the $97 price. That time he thought about others. He doesn't want to give trouble to others. And now recently he announced the package. We can see his thinking, how he think about others. So that thing is great, sir. Mr. Ashmufara always talk about positivity. There are everywhere there around negativity. So I want to ask a question. Mr. Ashmufara talk about Navy SEAL, give the example 20-80% rules formula. Can you elaborate this and how we can be positive in ONPASSIVE?
Well, I find myself to be a very positive person in general in life, in all things that I do. If I join a business, I'm always positive that I'm going to achieve the level of success that I desire. If I get into a relationship, same thing. I'm always positive about the outcome, right? And that's what I mean when I say that, a lot of what Ash is looking to do align with my values, and so my background as far as, being, I don't want to say religious, but, a spiritual person, I'm positive in that sense. I believe that there's, very little that's impossible for me personally to do based upon my beliefs, and so with that said, our CEO wants to create a culture of positivity, right? Because, it is said, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? So we know that the mind plays a very powerful role in the outcome of our life. If someone is very, very negative in life, chances are they don't achieve much, they're not happy, whereas you have someone that could be, really, really positive and that person is happy. Doesn't mean they have a lot of money. That has nothing to do with it, right? But it does mean that they are content, they're happy, they're easygoing, they care about other people and so on. So it's good to have a positive outlook in life, right? Even those who live long, having that positive attitude helps towards that, right? So it's not just from a financial standpoint, you also have it from a health perspective, that people in general just need to be positive in life. It doesn't mean that you believe everything you hear, or you jump into everything you see. It doesn't mean that. We have to exercise wisdom, of course, right? But just having a positive outcome, I believe that goes a long, long way in helping people achieve whatever their goals may be in life, right? And so with ONPASSIVE, all we have to do is trust the CEO, trust the company, trust the process, right? And be patient. right? It's so important to be patient in life. You know, so a lot of times we get, carried away and we get, fidgety and, what's this and what, why, how, all these things. And all we have to do is just sit back, relax, and let things unfold. As the business of ONPASSIVE unfolds, we're able to see more. We're seeing a lot more today than we did back in 2018, than we did in 2019, and so on, right? Those who have been patient are starting to see everything unfold now. Look what we have right now. So can you imagine where we'll be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, right? And so all we have to do is just continue to be patient, continue to log into our back office, check for updates, stay engaged in the process, and continue to spread a positive message. And we're going to be, better off for that in the end.
Yes, great, sir. You explained very well. Sir, you talked about value, and Mr. Aj Mufare several times told in webinars, companies giving to value. So how you can elaborate this? Because previous companies also talked about value, but how ONPASSIVE is different from others?
Well, again, everyone who starts out in business, they're certainly looking to make money. Okay. And so you have some companies that, there's no real value there. Everything's just transactional. It's all about dollars and cents. So if I make this product for X amount of dollar, I need to make sure there's a profit margin there for me. And as long as there's a profit margin, I'm good. I'm happy. Everything is good. Okay. Mr. Mafar is now looking at things from that perspective. Sure, the company has to generate enough money in order to be sustainable, but it's not profit motivated, right? The company is simply put in place to try and help as many as possible around the world, which is a tall order, but I believe we certainly can do it. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that we will impact a lot of people, right? So when you produce products that are not profit driven, where you're making sure, what I'm bringing to the marketplace is something that is good. It's something that's going to help people. It's something that's going to attract people, nothing to do with money or finances, but simply because they're going to get something that's going to work. They're going to get something that's delivering more than what their expectation is, okay? And so that's what we're talking about when we talk about value, right? Is having something that, the output that you did, which is usually money, right? So you spend a certain amount of money, the return that you're getting is far much greater than the actual dollar value that you have spent. For example, you mentioned about the $97. Okay, but if people are honest with themselves, they would realize that they've received way more value in return for that $97 that they've spent. And the same thing's going to happen when they purchase the products. What they're going to be receiving for the little amount that they're going to spend for the products far outweighs it. I mean, when we think of Zoom that we're using right now, and how when people utilize the paid portion of Zoom, you can spend thousands of dollars a month for it, and yet you still have a finite or a fixed amount of attendees that you can utilize on that platform. Whereas with ONPASSIVE, right, just to give the example, okay, you pay a small amount and then you have this unlimited amount of usage, right? That's value that you're giving to the customer, right? And so we can see that in so many different products that ONPASSIVE will have. And so that's why the company is delivering true value that people are so in need of. And that's going to equate to even more revenue, coincidentally, right? Because if you give people value, right, they're going to stick with you forever and ever. They're going to be loyal customers. And so that's all blended in to the ONPASSIVE formula.
Great, sir. You explained beautifully, very well, very informative answer. Sir, we all know ONPASSIVE is a artificial intelligence based IT company. So what is the role of artificial intelligence in the product of ONPASSIVE? How do you see AI marketing and impact on the overall structure of the digital market, digital products?
Sure. Well, again, we need technology to make our lives easier, right? We certainly need that. From a business standpoint, somebody comes on the internet and they're trying to sell products, okay, or service, right? Okay, do they know how to set up a website? Do they know how to choose a domain name that will make sense based upon the business that they're going to be promoting? Okay. Do they know how to create content? Okay. Do they know how to find targeted traffic to drive to that business? Okay. So all these things and a lot more goes into having a successful business on the internet. Okay, it's not just easy, let me just jump on, slap something together, and hey, I'm gonna be rich. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? There are sound principles that need to be adhered to, right? And so with AI, we can use the technology to automate the entire process, because there's no way that human beings can physically produce and deliver all that we are expected for hundreds of millions of individuals. You need technology for that, right? And so that's what the technology is going to do. It's going to help automate the process so that all we have to do is to start the process. How do we start the process? By activating a package, by having your domain name, having the content created by the company, etc. But it's not someone that's physically creating it. Okay, you input a few things and then the technology can now create this website. That's exactly what is needed in order to produce the results that we're looking for. So the AI is interwoven within that, right? And then also with the product's features. Okay, you need to have certain technology in order to give you certain features, like a chatbot. Okay, the chatbot that's okay. This is technology. It's not a human being that's going to be answering 70% of the questions for people. So when you have technology doing that, again, you're freeing up time, okay, and you're minimizing costs. Right, so you see how the company can deliver what it says it can deliver because it's going to minimize costs, okay, and it's also freeing up time for individuals, okay, both the employees of the company as well as those who engage, like customers, with our business.
Great, sir. Sir, what is your favorite product and why you like it?
That's a good question. What is my favorite product? I'm not sure if I have a favorite one, to be honest. I certainly like, the idea of Academy, because I, especially in the last 2 years, we've seen what has happened around the world, with the pandemic, with COVID, and we see how online learning has become a staple now, right? So many are doing that now. A lot of universities are turning to that, and they're having at least some aspect of that within their curriculum, right? So, I know it's going to be a massive, massive market as we move forward. And, we don't need the entire market. We just need a little piece, Wasim, for people to be able to accomplish their financial dreams. So, that's one product that stands out for me. And of course, O Connect. Communication is very, very important. Here I am in Canada, here you are in Pakistan, and we can communicate on Zoom, right? But when we have our own, right, O Connect, right, we'll be able to do this and more based upon all the features that will be involved. So yes, those are the two that stands out for me right now.
Yes, great, sir. Excellent. Sir, I've taken the interviews of several leaders, and 90% told the favorite product O Academy and O Connect. So, of course, O Bless is our first priority, but O Connect and O Academy is huge. So that's why we take the name. Sir, we all have seen the massive marketing campaign ran in Dubai and Burj Khalifa. What do you think about the impact it has left on overall standing of ONPASSIVE? And did you feel any kind of change in terms of people coming and asking about the company?
Yes, well, it's great to have branding, right? Like you have to get your brand out there, right? People have to know your brand. It's much easier for them to buy from you if they trust your brand, right? So if I wanted to sell, let's say a hat, and if I have Nike on it, if it's a Nike product, people know Nike is a name they come to trust, etc. They see it all over the place, all the different athletes, entertainers, and so on, who endorses it. So it's easy to go buy that Nike hat. But if I had a hat and it said, Wasim on it, like no one would buy it, right? Whereas Nike, they certainly would. Okay, so branding is very, very important. So if you get your brand out there into the marketplace, when it comes time to start to sell now, people are going to be in line, because it's also a psychological, factor as well. When people subconsciously, these images register in people's head, they're seeing on passive, on passive, on passive. And then at some point down the road, when they're exposed to an on-passive product, okay, subconsciously, right, they equate that to trust, because they've seen it over and over and over again. Okay, as opposed to, I've never seen this before, I'm not going to trust it, I don't want to buy that product. So certainly branding is very, very important. And I think the companies that were able to accomplish that and getting the word out there, we've seen founders come in as a result of this brand going out there. We know of existing founders who have shared information with others, and they weren't too keen on jumping in. And as a result of this branding campaign coming out of Dubai, people were more interested. People wanted to take a closer look now, because now it's something that's out there as opposed to only internally, right? So it certainly has made an impact. And I know as we move forward and the marketing campaigns get added to that in various countries, we're going to see, a tremendous, earthquake, let's call it that, because a tsunami is coming. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, I saw your post about the tsunami. That was wonderful. So sir, 30th March was a memorable day for us when the campaign in Dubai started. And 30th March, many founders invited from India in Hyderabad office. And I was the lucky one who invited from Pakistan for Hyderabad. So, but unfortunately, due to some visa issue, I could not go there. And sir, you were present in Boston event and met with mastermind Mr. Ash of ONPASSIVE. I want to know that how was the event that took place in Boston? You have meet different leaders there, sir. How things have changed since that event?
Yes, well, again, it's one thing to be having a conversation over a phone or even on a platform such as this, versus being in person. Seeing someone face to face, belly to belly, you can give a hug, an embrace, so it makes a difference, right? You can, when someone is speaking to you and you're looking them right in the eye, it makes a big difference, versus, like I said, using these other mediums of communication. So with that, it was great. I mean, it was fantastic to be able to meet Ash face to face. To meet some of the other leaders, Julie Wen, Chris Johnson, Charles Osong, and the list goes on and on of the other leads were there. Susie McRae. It was great. Gersminder was there, even though he's from Canada. It was good to meet him face to face. All the leaders that were there. Peter Sir. So it's It was a great event. I was glad to be there. I almost didn't make it, but fortunately I was able to get there, and it was a great experience. So we certainly look forward to that. And I think it also, brought the bond a little closer, prior to us meeting face to face. So yeah, face to face makes a difference. There's no doubt about that. And I know we're going to have a lot more as we go forward with ONPASSIVE.
The most important question: how was the dinner?
The dinner
With Mr. Ash.
Well, food was good. There's no doubt about that. Food was good. Breaking bread with people, again, you learn a lot about them, as you have these casual conversations, so it was good. It was very, very good.
So next question, very viral statement of your, once you made a calculation and stated something in video that the person who will join the last day will make money a lot. You gave a rough idea to make people grasp the concept of income on this platform, but few people took it seriously and others misunderstood. I want you to tell us what are the factors contributed towards such calculation. Now things are changed. So how do you see now?
Okay, so when it comes to income, again, back then we tried to, because some people are visual. They have to see things, for them to really understand the concept. But the concept is simple. Whether it's ONPASSIVE or any other business, you have to be able to sell products or services for people to make money. It's as simple as that. Okay, if you have a legitimate business, you have to be selling products or services. Okay, so in our case, we know we have a variety of products that will be sold. Okay, and so the premise is that a person can get involved in ONPASSIVE, and if they elect to be a reseller, the company will set up everything for them, the website, the content, all of that, and also drive the traffic. And that's the most important part, is that traffic. You can have the beautiful website, but if no one is seeing it, how are you going to be making sales? Okay. And so, once we understand that part of it, then we know that the more people that come to my site, the more people that are able to see what I have to offer, then the greater the chance, right? The greater the chance of me to make sales. Okay. If only 10 people come to my site, there's not a huge chance I'm going to make one sale from that. But if I had 100 people, 1,000 people viewing my site, then that multiplies the probability of me having success, right? Making sales. Okay. And so that's what we wanted founders to understand, that yes, as long as the traffic is present, as long as people are viewing like real eyeballs or reviewing your website, you're going to make money. Okay. And so you're going to start out with having like 1 customer and 3 customers and 5 and 10. It continues to grow. So the more customers you're getting is the more money you're making, right? So we don't want to give people a fixed number, because unfortunately people hold on to that and they think, oh, that's exactly what I'm going. We cannot guarantee income, right? And I would think that people would know this. If you open up a business tomorrow, Wasim,
Yes.
right? And let's say a restaurant, okay, do you know how much money you're going to make that month? You don't. Do you know how much money you're going to make that day? You don't. But as long as you have customers coming in, right, you're going to be making money though, right? And that's what we have with ONPASSIVE. We have a system in place whereby people will be getting targeted traffic, and the more traffic that they get is the greater their income is going to be. And we know over time, this business was not created to just help people make a couple $100. We would need all these products to do that. Not necessary, okay? But the way ONPASSIVE is set up, and with all these great products that we have, right, it is created to help people become wealthy. Why? Because we want them to use the excess money that they'll have to help others, which you mentioned about Bless. So that's where that comes in, right? That's what we want. So people, I believe, all founders don't need to worry about money when it comes to ONPASSIVE. It's not necessary. That part is a done deal. This is why we don't really talk about money anymore. We just kind of focus on the value that is being brought forth with the products then, right? Because the money part is taken care of. Everyone who's in, they're going to make money. They're going to be happy. That part is a done deal, as I said. So let's, look forward to the other aspect of the business. So we're in a good place, right? We are certainly in a good place. There's more value to the table, Wasim. What does that mean? If there's more value, it simply means that people can make even more money now because there's more value, right? So we're in a good place. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, sir, thanks for this explanation. Mostly founders stuck in figures and amount, and I think we are going to get more. And sir, last question. As we all know, the foundership has been closed forever. So what do you see the next phase now?
So the next phase, what the company is doing right now is just getting ready to start selling products, right? That has to happen, Wasim. Like that, that is a given. If we're not selling any products, that means the company's not making the money, then you're not in business, okay? So that is the next step. The next step really is to be in a position whereby the company now have everything in place, wallets, merchants, all these things in place, that they can now start to sell the products to the marketplace, to the public, right, globally. And as a result of that, we as founders will generate an income as we make commissions from the sale of those products, right? And we will also be able to, send our own traffic to the various sites and what have you, to multiply, right, to increase what we'll be able to make. So that's the next step. The next step is to start selling products. And so it's going to happen. There's no doubt about it, because it's part of the process, right? It is part of the process. The process did not end with foundership, okay? That was just one phase of it, okay? Now we go to the next, which simply is, as I said, selling products. And, we're in great shape. Where we are right now, people say, well, it's been 4 years, and that's okay. It takes time. It takes time to build a proper business that is going to be sustainable for generations to come. It takes time for that, okay? And so if people, want to have a lifelong income, this is where the patience come in, because once it starts, it's not going to stop, Wasim. It's not going to stop, all right?
Great, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, in last, any message for Pakistani founders?
Well, to all my Pakistani founders out there, just hang on, hold on. We are in, as Mr. Ash says, get ready for the greatest shape of our life, right? So we're in a beautiful place, and great things are about to happen for a lot of people worldwide, not just for Pakistan, but obviously 200 plus countries around the world. So we are certainly in it to win it.
Thank you very much, sir. We are so in it to win it. Sir, see you next in next session. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
You're so welcome.